I tried the 10 most liked BTD6 maps and we're going to rank them. Up first we have Lagoon, an absolutely beautiful map that not only managed to make a several track map look nice, but also work well. I loved the use of lily pads for the water track, and even though there were so many, the map was not overly difficult. It perfectly combines both water and land, making it easy to place whatever monkey you want without ruining the aesthetic at all. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for looks, an 8 out of 10 for replayability, and a 9 out of 10 for originality. Next, we have BTD1, the OG Bloons Tower Defense map. In hindsight, I should have beat it with only BTD1 towers, but that's in the past now. Overall, it's a pretty simple and bland map, but I can't really knock that as this is what the OG map looks like. Anyway, I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for looks because they did nail what they were going for, but a 2 out of 10 for originality and replayability. There are already hundreds of older Bloons maps made in the map editor, but this one was first, so props to them. Moving on, we have Amogus Among Us. I thought I was just gonna meme on this map, but it's surprisingly well made. The track overlaps many times to create this character and it still looks very clean. And the lush forests on either side look quite nice. Another easy map, but onto the rankings. It gets a 7.5 out of 10 for looks because I don't know how they made the track look so nice, but a 1 out of 10 for replayability and originality. There are already so many Among Us maps, and although this is the nicest one, I don't really plan on playing another anytime soon. Shifting gears, we have Vaporeon's Garden, an absolutely gorgeous map. I'll spoil it now, this is the nicest looking map in my opinion. Not only does it look just like Vaporeon, but the rest of the map looks amazing too. I love that the track isn't only this Pokemon, but also the outer lap of the garden. The only thing I'd change is that the hedges in Vaporeon's collar block some line of sight, which I found weird as the rest of Vaporeon doesn't, but that's honestly not a big deal and maybe the creator wanted that mechanic. Anyway, this gets an easy 10 out of 10 for looks, a 5 out of 10 for replayability, and a 4 out of 10 for originality. I would give most Pokemon maps lower scores for originality, but the garden aspect bumped it up a little. Turning our attention to Clark's fancy map, we have another beaut. I don't know how people make these maps look so nice, but I'm glad they can. The track is stunning, there are some pets hidden around the map, and there's a nice use of water. Honestly, my only complaint was that I couldn't fit a submarine in the cauldron like I can on Carve. An 8 out of 10 for looks, 7 out of 10 for replayability, and an 8 out of 10 for originality. We're going to combine the next two as they are basically the same map. The path OC Transpo takes to University and World's Longest Map both made ridiculously long maps. The path OC Transpo takes is a bit funnier in my opinion, but World's Longest Map is longer. So you take your pick on what one you want to try out. I'll give them both a 3 out of 10 for all three scores, though it's not really fair as they're clearly meme maps that the community liked, including myself. We're on to the top 3 most liked maps, and we'll start with Jungly Wungly. First off, an amazing name, and they completely backed it up with how it looks. I mean, a waterfall and lush rainforest that isn't overly cramped or repeating itself. I don't know how they did it. A breathtaking map, but I did have one complaint. I wish there were more line of sight blockers other than just the rocks and trees. I mean, if I put a sniper down bottom, he could shoot up the waterfall or cliff. Other than that, it's a great map. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for looks, a 7 out of 10 for replayability, and an 8 out of 10 for originality. On to Monkeyopolis, which is a classic combining several maps into one. This has been a common occurrence on Reddit for a while, but this perfectly pulled off the combination of Monkey Meadow, Park Path, Town Center, and Downstream. I loved how the maps flowed into each other, but my favorite part by far was the same stream being used for Downstream and Park Path. A beautiful touch. This was really fun to play and reminded me of an Odyssey for some reason. I don't know, it made it feel like we were more in the Monkeyverse seeing them all connected. I'll give it a 7 out of 10 for looks, an 8 out of 10 for replayability, and a 7 out of 10 for originality. And onto the number 1 most liked map of all time, we have Monkey Meadow, but at a different angle. This concept is crazy, looking at Monkey Meadow from the side instead of a bird's eye view. This has now been copied many times, but this was the OG. On top of the cool concept, even the rest of the map looks great. The background made excellent use of different colors and a mix of animated and non-animated trees. Not to mention the different shades of blue in the sky that makes it much less bland. The only downside was how weird it was to place monkeys on a map like this, as they seemed very squished. That makes sense though from this perspective. My favorite place to put monkeys though was by the entrance right behind the big tree. This way, I had hidden monkeys doing all the popping for us. Anyway, this was an easy 10 out of 10 for looks as they nailed the different perspective, a 6 out of 10 for replayability just because it was awkward to place monkeys, and an easy 10 out of 10 for originality. I don't think there will ever be a map to dethrone this one as the most liked map of all time.